Back to the BSG jacket. This is the front. These are all the pieces for it. There's a left and a right. The bottom and the top. Tops have left and rights as well. It's a bunch of weird non-symmetric pieces. Right? We're going to go over that. It's actually pretty easy. This is going to be just as easy as the sleeves. In fact, a lot of the steps are identical. And let's show you what the pieces are first. And again, this is the front, so I've cut mine out symmetric. And then I will take the pieces out rather than cutting them out initially, just because I'm worried about messing things up and putting the left where the right is, the right where the left is, cutting the wrong piece out. It's just easier just to cut them out together, you know, with the fabrics facing each other and just cut. We have the part that goes on the left breast. It kind of looks like it should be a nameplate. The two on the lower right that look like pockets but aren't. And then a weird loop thing that goes right here. We're going to use about 30 inches of cording plus the little loop thing, so 39 inches roughly. It's not difficult. Let's get this thing done. The first step is to make the cording. We're not going to go over that because, again, if you want to watch me make cording, go to the baseball jersey tutorial. If you want more in-depth sewing, go to the jumpsuit tutorial. This one's just going to focus on the Battlestar Galactica jacket. So we're going to start with cording. Now that we have our cording prepped for the pockets, we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Going to stitch along the line. When I get to here, the corner, I'm going to stop, cut it at a 90 degree, fold it over, stitch the remaining bit. Then I'm going to cut my corners. We're going to do that with the small front pocket gets 2, the large front pocket gets 2, and then the name spot gets 3. So we're just going to go all the way around, take care of all 3 of these. Now this last one's a little different. We're going to stitch 1/2 inch on either side, leave the top open, we're going to flip it inside out, and then put a stitch right down the middle. It seems weird, but it makes kind of a loop that we need to get made. Alright, now what we're going to do here, again, snip the corners. I'm going to cut away about half, I'd say, of my seam allowance. Then we're going to try and flip this inside out. This is annoying. Probably the worst part. It's horrible. Once it's the right side out, I'm going to stuff this inside it. Turned right side out. The cording is stuffed in. Now we're just going to put a stitch straight down the middle. We're going to leave a little gap at the end so it looks like it's a loop. Here's the front right, the back side. So I've measured up 4.5 and 4.5, and then 4 and 4. So we're going to cut this out because this is our seam allowance. A little pocket gets sewn onto it, just like we did the other one. Luckily, there's only 2 sides, so it should be much easier. Then I measured the same amount, or this amount. It's all on the pattern, so it's not that big of a deal. It's 6.5 by 5.5, and then I'm going to cut this out And I'm going to cut this out. So this piece on and this piece on. This little mark up here, that's for the thing we flipped right side out and stitched. It's now covered in chalk. That gets sewn on right up there. So this is next. The cording is clearly the hardest part of this entire thing. So to connect these two pieces, the best thing to do is to lay this flat, fold it over, so it's just straight there, see? And then we just sew right along this cording here. It's really easy. That's it. And we're going to do that with both of these. This is where we are. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch on all four of these edges, and then this little tabby piece is going to get sewn right there. The last part on this side is going to be a piece of cording. Goes all the way across this top. And the top, wrong side. Keep in mind, this is the shoulder, or this is the sleeve, and this is the sleeve. This is the neckline. It's important. You don't want to accidentally flip it. I do that all the time, so keep that in mind. We're just going to do one stitch here. We're going to zigzag it. And then this side will be done. This is the pocket, or the name badge, right? I measured in half an inch and half an inch, and I just centered it. We're going to cut this out, and just like we did for the sleeve, we're going to sew the top on first, and then we're going to fold everything, so these two edges. And just like with the other side, this is a sleeve, this is where the buckles go. And we just sew like that. We're going to stitch all the way across at the half inch and then do a zigzag stitch. And then the front's done. The next step is to attach the fronts to the back. I'll show you how that goes. We have both fronts right side facing up. We have them in the right order, so the left is on the left, the right's on the right. All we do pin the shoulders together, half-inch seam allowance, and zigzag. We're going to do that for both sides. This is where we are so far. It's a Battlestar Galactica vest. Next video, we're going to attach the sleeves and the epaulets, and probably stitch the inseam, and the cuffs on. It's looking pretty good. I'm very happy with it. It's turning out nice. 2 or 3 more videos and we'll be done. We've got sleeves next, lining after that, and that should be it. So, go be a colonial warrior.